And we appreciate you watching today's THV, the 10 o'clock difference. Another round of severe weather hitting Arkansas tonight, and there are reports of widespread damage, including power outages, multiple injuries, even at least one death due to flash flooding. I'm Dawn Scott. Liz is off tonight.
I'm Craig O'Neill. Let's first of all get back with Ed Buckner for the latest, the very latest.
And Tracy Bean and Meredith Mitchell back here as well. All three of us been covering the storms through the afternoon, evening, and night, of course, with you and all of our reporters in the field. We'll talk about the one fatality here coming up, but so far, I'm surprised we haven't seen more reports of damage because these major storms moved through the area. I think all this started somewhere around 3:45 or 4, and it's just been nonstop since then. Now,
Andy says crews are assessing the base's aircraft at this time. And we also have a crew down in Garland County where there are reports of trees and power lines down across the county. TSP's Max Siegel is live near Fountain Lake tonight. Max, give us the latest there.
Okay, the latest here is I know we were last in Fountain Lake at our last day. We were driving back into Hot Springs from Fountain Lake on Highway 7 heading south toward the city. We were trying to get to the convention center for a live shot where they have set up a shelter for families displaced by the violent storms tonight. But as we were heading on Highway 7 south, traffic basically stopped. We started looking out our windows. We got out for a second and started seeing at least two transformers that exploded. You could very clearly see the sparks from a distance.
Also tonight, TSP's Wayne Cross is out live in Bologna, where there are multiple reports of damage and some injuries.
And Wayne is working on confirming some information out of Bologna right now. But first of all, we're going to show you some live pictures out of Bologna, where first responders are working hard tonight, tirelessly, going door to door to check on folks in Bologna. There had been reports earlier that we told you about a man trapped in a home. The horses and other livestock had died in the storm. The house was damaged. That man has been rescued and is safe tonight. There are, however, multiple reports of injuries in Bologna, and not everyone at this hour has been accounted for. Law enforcement and first responders working, as we mentioned, all night long to check on the folks there in Faulkner County. There are, as you can imagine, trees down, power lines down, just a horrible situation for them to do the jobs that they're having to do tonight, as you can see there from our live picture in Bologna in Faulkner County this evening. One of the hardest hit areas, Bologna in Faulkner County.
Not letting anybody into that city or town.
They're asking everyone actually to bypass the city altogether, and we'll check in with THV's Wayne Cross, who is in Bologna for us a bit later on in our show.
And we want to thank our viewers, too, for sending us in some terrific pictures and video tonight.
We want to take a look at some of those now. Jerry Fry of Little Rock sent us this picture. It was taken from the 9th floor of Baptist Hospital. This clearly shows what Ed had earlier said was a funnel cloud. Out of Hot Springs in Garland County earlier this evening. This was taken on Airport Road 70 West in Hot Springs from Drew Hampton. We appreciate that.
And this is hail from Hot Springs from earlier in the evening as well. Yes, there was hail as a part of this storm system tonight.
We're also getting a video in from our viewers. This was taken just after 7 o'clock, about 7:10 tonight in Hot Springs near Piercy. It is out Highway 70 West toward Lake Hamilton Schools. Video taken from Brad Treadway's cell phone. We certainly appreciate you sending that in tonight.
And we're going to show you some from the Haskell area in Saline County also earlier this evening. And if you watch closely, you can see some rotation in this particular video, a familiar scene tonight.
We appreciate you, Kenny Allison, a THV staffer. This is the viewer video from Jessica Smith near Royal. Heavy wind and rain there. And of course, that green color that we had been discussing earlier with Ed, where on the other side of the storm, the sun is shining back in, and that's why it looks like that. That's why it has the greenish tint that so many of you have been talking about today.
And we got some video from Denny Bird. Here's a look at some video from Benton on Interstate 30. You can see the clouds coming down out of the thunderstorm and the rotation there.
Ed just said that was a funnel cloud north. You can continue to send us your weather pictures and video at today'sthv.com, and there you always get the latest weather information. You can also sign up for breaking weather text alerts. And if you want to get weather alerts, you need to sign up for breaking news text alerts, not just the regular weather reports, and that will ensure you get all the latest information. And of course, if you have damage in your area, be sure and let us know, today'sthv.com, or give us a call at the number you see on the screen there.
Of course, tonight we also have lots of reports of power outages, as many as 75,000 energy customers tonight.
Also, First Electric Cooperative says 28,000 customers are without power statewide, and they service White, Saline, Lonoke, Pulaski, and Perry counties.
Damage and power are closing schools. North Pulaski and Pulaski County will be closed tomorrow.
Also, ASU BB will be closed as well.
And now the dangers associated with these storms, not just tornadoes and high winds. A number of places in the state reporting flooding. We're going to show you Bella Vista today in Benton County. That area has seen around a foot of rain since last Wednesday. The rising waters have forced a number of street closures. And in Washington County, officials there have declared a state of emergency. We've learned that the entrances to Northwest Regional Airport had to be closed, and the U of A in Fayetteville letting classes out early. Flooding is also being reported in northeast Arkansas. Homes reportedly flooded in the town of Hardy. The city hall there evacuated. The Spring River, which runs near Hardy, expected to reach 11 feet above flood stage, and it was flooding that brought about news of the first fatality in West Fork of a woman who drowned in that community. Also, we want to check in now with our live crews. We have Lisa Hudson out live near Morgan, where a church has been damaged. Lisa, can you tell us the latest out there?
Well, Craig, I'm here with Lieutenant Carl Minden from the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. Lieutenant, we just got back from seeing some of the damage of the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. Just kind of what all is going on at this point?
I mean, basically at this point, we've got the fire rescue crews going out. We think we've done a pretty good job of canvassing the neighborhood, making sure nobody's in any of the houses. The church, luckily, you know, it's not a church night, so nobody was in it. The church has been, you know, basically destroyed. And we have road crews coming out trying to free the way. You know, you drove down there with us. We have to zigzag our way through there. The roads are completely blocked, and you know, certain points we're actually driving off the road to actually get to where we're trying to go. So that's the main thing right now. It's cleanup.
Right, definitely. Now, and the propane tank that was with the church was actually leaking. Is that a concern at this point?
It's something to be taken care of here quickly as soon as we can get a crew down in. We've had some energy crews trying to get in. Naturally, try to get it's probably center point that some of the gas. I'm not sure about what the propane who will take care of that, but we'll have some type of utility crews coming in to handle all the issues with that.
Right, and that's kind of the issue right now is just getting people to the spots. Like you said, we were going through fallen trees, limbs, floodwaters, lots of bad situations in order to get to that church. What you're looking at now is the video that our photographer Dave Kraft actually got of the church when we were there. As you can see, the complete side of the church is just completely knocked out. The roof is collapsed. Just everything inside the church is destroyed, either by wind or water damage at this point. Definitely just a hard situation for those church members. Luckily, though, as Lieutenant Minden, as you just said, that it's Monday instead of Sunday.
Right. If this had been a Sunday night or a Wednesday night, we could have had a tragedy.
Right. Definitely. And as far as any homes or any other families that may be affected, obviously, I mean, it's kind of dark right now. Of course, we went out with Lieutenant Minden in order to look at some of this damage. It's kind of hard to see who has the worst damage, right?
Right. At this point, I mean, you know, the obvious signs, you know, on the road and some of the houses are up close, but there's some of the houses that are further off the road, and it'll be up into daylight before we can actually really survey the damage.
All right. Thank you so much, Lieutenant. I appreciate it. No problem. And definitely, guys, we're really just in the middle of the cleanup here. Emergency crews are still trying to make their way down there. As we were traveling with Lieutenant Minden in order to get that video of the church, we had to go off-road, even just to get by some trees that were falling over the road, not letting people go by. Lots of floodwaters as well. Actually, Lieutenant Minden told us on the way down there that those waters weren't there when he first checked it out. The flash flooding is really beginning to become a problem as it's still raining, it's still coming down. So that's going to be an issue as well. Just a very tough situation for anybody that lives on Highway 365. That's kind of where we're stationed at right now. And those who are members of Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church, that building is completely destroyed. Guys, back to you.
All right, and we have Some difficult news to pass along. We have confirmed in Valonia there has been one death. We don't know any further details in age or whether this was a male or female or anything like that, but we have confirmed one person has died in Valonia. This now brings the death toll to 2 from storms, weather related today. One was a woman who's from West Fork, reported by KFSM, our CBS affiliate in Fort Smith, died from flash flooding today, and now we're learning of a second death tonight in Valonia due to these storms. We're going to go back out live to Valonia. We have joining us tonight one of the residents in Valonia. His name is Eric Scroggin, and we want to check in there. Are you with us, Eric? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for being here. First of all, are you okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was not here during the storm. I work at UAMS in the ICU and got off a day shift and just now made it here. It took me about 3 hours to get home.
Wow.
Are they allowing you in the city so far? Have you been able to get to your house?
Yes, ma'am. In fact, your live shot is actually in the front of my house right now.
And tonight, the Baxter County Sheriff tells us on State Highway 5, about 6 miles south of the Missouri state line in extreme North Arkansas in the Three Brothers community, the road there is shut down.
And that is because of a mudslide. The Arkansas Highway Department and the Baxter County Sheriff's Department is working to clear the roadway. Also tonight, our sister station, KFSM, once again reporting a West Fork woman drowned this evening after she was swept away by floodwaters in Washington County. They say the victim, 38-year-old Consuelo Centillano, was driving a Honda Odyssey south on Highway 265. It stalled in high water. Centillano's 11-year-old son was also in the vehicle, and according to the sheriff's office, deputies believe Centillano got out of the vehicle and drowned in the Illinois River. The boy found safe and uninjured.